One of the things I think so incredibly important about Hilton Head Christian Academy as a private school is to note that it is independent. And what I mean by independent is a lot of Christian schools are tied into churches and different organizations. Hilton Head Christian is not affiliated with any specific church. We're non-denominational in that sense, but we are guided and led by a board of directors. Now, for clarity, I get asked often, what's the role of the board? What's your role? How does that work? The reality is we have a board of directors that sits and basically has two functions. One function is strategic planning and another function is governance. At the end of the day, I am their only employee. They're not involved in the daily decisions and choices of the school. They're involved in the big picture strategy, budgeting, policy at that level. And so every other employee is underneath me. And so the way we function and the way it works in an amazing way is that they provide me the support I need. I'm accountable to them. And that group also, just like our faculty and staff, has to be bought into the vision of knowing Christ and making him known. Part of their requirement, just like our faculty and staff, is a statement of faith, Christian role model statement. And the reason for those things, as a school, we are, and let's be real clear, we are evangelistic or missional in nature, not covenantal. Covenantal would mean every student that attends has to be a Christian or have a testimony or go to church. We're evangelistic. We want students from all backgrounds to be a part of our school so that we are able to share the gospel with them. But when it comes to our employees and our leaders, we want to make sure that they're grounded in Christ so that we never sway off of our statement of faith and our vision of knowing Christ. And so part of the role of the board of directors is planning, 5-year strategic planning, 5-year financial planning. Obviously, as we think about the long-term plans of the school, we need a well-rounded group that has the best interest of the school involved as we think through what that's going to look like. And that group does an amazing job of thinking through those things as we roll through that plan each year. Part of that also is budgeting. I get asked all the time, how do we come up with the budgets? Who determines the budget? What about tuition increases? The reality is this: when we think about tuition increases, the standard in most schools from a private standpoint is 3 to 6% every year. There are realities, there are costs, there's inflation, there's so many programmatic things that we continue to grow. And as we think about the budget, just so y'all know, as we think about the school budget as a whole, we have about a $10.5 million budget, and about 70% of that funnels towards our personnel in some way, shape, or form, because that funneling and that personnel investment is what's going to have the biggest impact on your student. Obviously, there are other things from operations to facilities to programs to debt service to financial aid. On the other side, just so everybody's clear, as a private school, one of the things we are very adamant about is not taking government funding. The more we would take or allow any kind of government funding that comes out to come into our school, the more we lose our rights to teach and train and raise our kids in the way that we want to. And so we do not use government funds. It's all tuition funded. Dream Big Fund pours in a percentage each year. And ultimately, the goal of the school is to continue to grow, not just in a numbers standpoint, as I said in a previous video. Our goal is to get to about 750, 800 over the next 5 to 10 years. But it's not just to grow for growth's sake. Anybody can grow a large group, but if it's not functioning well, that becomes problematic. We want to grow in a way that is fiscally responsible, that is student responsible, and is family responsible. And what I mean by student and family responsible is we want to provide your kids with an excellent experience. We want to partner well with you as a family, and we want to use this, steward well the finances we've been given, and being in a place where this school will not only support this generation, but the next.